Hello, all you Peter Christian fans. I've got a splendid offer for you, which I'm going to read to you. For the duration of this test match, which doesn't go on, I'm afraid, very much longer now, just 2 more days to go, and maybe, in fact, in the end, only one, all UK and Australian customers can win, or not win, but get a 15% discount on everything that Peter Christian has to offer. All those wonderful, wonderful coloured clothes. And all you have to do is just click the link in the comment below, and you're home and hosed, as they say. Now we go back to Adelaide, and another day of gloom and doom for England, I'm afraid, and brilliant for Australia. They've outplayed England yet again and are in the most extraordinarily strong position. At the close, they were 271 for 4. They were 356 runs ahead. It was Australia's day, but it was also South Australia's day, because they had two vibrant left-handers. Travis Head, he made another 100, his second 100 of the series, to go after the one he made in Perth. And then Alex Carey, who made 108, I think, in the first innings, was 52 not out at the end. And they absolutely murdered the English bowlers. It was sad. What can one say? All I can say is that the English supporters were marvellous. The Barmy Army, long live the Barmy Army, they were wonderful. In the heat, tremendous heat. It wasn't as hot as yesterday when it was 40 degrees, but it was hot, and they were in front of the big scoreboard just down from the cathedral at that end of the ground, and they were cheering to the echo right to the end of the day. Goodness me, I love the Barmy Army, and I know what we do without them. And I shall do my best not to make this a long, long obituary notice, but we have got 2 days of this match left, and then 2 more test matches to come in Melbourne and Sydney. And I shall be there, actually, for Sydney, so I shall be talking to you for that test match from Australia. It's going to be a little difficult, isn't it? The Aussies will be getting at me. Do you remember when I made a few notes this morning, I found that I had written England not gold enough. Well, they aren't gold enough, but also, what I meant to say, they aren't good enough either, are they? I mean, it really was. It was a sad day. There was just a glimmer at the start. Archer and Stokes, or maybe I should say Stokes and Archer, took their ninth wicket stand to 107, and they both battled on for a long time. It was stirring stuff. Stokes made 83 before a good one from Stark bowled him. And Archer completed his first ever Test 50, and it really was stirring stuff. They fought in capitalism. Why on earth couldn't the rest of them fight? That's what I can't understand. I mean, they're good cricketers in the middle, and yet they just got themselves out. I don't know. It really has got to be a big inquest, hasn't there, as to what went on and what didn't really go on. I really don't know what the answer is. Now let's look at Travis Head. He was less, I think Brown has to say he was more clinical than he was in Perth, and less sort of extravagant. I mean, in Perth he just went for everything, didn't he? When Australia had to get 205 to win, and he went in a low-scoring game, and he absolutely cracked England everywhere. It was a little bit more measured today, but you see, England bowled so badly at him. The fact is that he is so strong, square with the wicket on both sides. The one thing you don't do to Travis Head is bowl wide of the wicket and short, which was precisely what they did. He was forever square cutting him, or hitting the ball with a flat bat through the covers, or working it away to leg. And I mean, it was shameful bowling, but there we are. England have lost their disciplines, which is I think, extremely sad. And I don't know why. I'm sure Stokes and McCullum have done their best to instill the importance of these disciplines. Bowling length and line, keeping the ball up to the bat, keeping the batsman on the front foot, and yet they don't seem to do it. The big disaster for England today too, perhaps, is Stokes, because Stokes didn't bowl. And it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have bowled otherwise, normally. I agree at 149 for 4, Australia were in some little difficulty. And then you would have thought Stokes would have come on and perhaps done his wicket-taking tricks, but he didn't. He didn't use the ball all day. And this, I think, indicates that he's got an injury. And if Stokes is injured, and can't bowl, it upsets the balance of the side. Of course he's got to stay as captain, but it's going to mean that the Melbourne and Sydney test matches are going to be very, very long affairs. In fact, they may be rather short affairs without Stokes being able to bowl. But we will discover in time what his problems are. When after the Archer-Stokes stand, England started quite well. Weatherall was LBW to cast for 1, which was a good start for England. In fact, funnily enough, the ball pitched outside the leg stump, but Weatherall didn't go for the review, which was really was a little bit extraordinary, wasn't it? Because these days, batsmen go for the review whenever they can, but he didn't, and. The result was that Australia were 1 down quickly. And then we had quite a good spell, a tidy spell from Labuschagne. And tidy spell from Labuschagne. I'm getting it mixed up with my papers here. We had quite a tidy spell from Tongue. And Tongue had first Labuschagne and then Green caught in the slips by Brooks. Both good low catches. And Brooks dropped 1 or 2. He dropped, didn't he, 1 in the carry in the first innings. And he dropped 1 again today when Head was 99. But that was a harder one still. By then, the damage had been done. So then the other wicket to fall was Khawaja, who was caught behind playing out square cut at Jacks, at one that was perhaps a little bit too close to him. And it may be Khawaja's last test match, I don't know. Jacks, well, he did his best, didn't he? He's a part-time spinner. And it is really sad that England had to come into this test on a pitch that's going increasingly to take spin. In the 4th innings, Nathan Lyon is going to turn the ball square. And it'd be very surprising if he doesn't win the match for Australia. But to come in with a part-time spinner who hasn't got the control, oh dear. It begs the question of what is the problem with English cricket? Why don't we produce spinners? Well, we produce occasional spinners like Graham Swan recently, wonderful bowler. But, I mean, with Bashir, the number 1 spinner, Shoaib Bashir, hasn't even got a county. He's not playing for a county. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is balmy to me, absolutely balmy. Anyway, there we are. There's got to be a big inquest about English cricket. There really has, because it's been the most embarrassing series for English cricket that I can remember. I mean, we started with high hopes. We had a great first day in Perth, and then it's been collapso in every possible sense. It really has been embarrassing. And look at all the England fans out there, and look at the England fans in England who are all been getting up early, like as we all have, in the hope that we're going to see something good, and we haven't. Well, 2 days left. It's going to be another triumph for Australia. They're going to seal the Ashes 3-0. Don't let's pussyfoot about. That's what's going to happen. And, victory for Australia, and it's going to be sackcloth and no Ashes for England. Now, Peter Christian, there's this splendid special offer. I must read it to you, because I haven't got it by heart yet. It's a splendid special offer. And now, for the duration of this 3rd test, and there are still 2 days to go, all UK and Australian listeners can get a 15% discount on all Peter Christian goods. And that is terrific. I mean, think of all the lovely trousers, my gentleman's smoking cap, and everything else. I've also got a lovely nightcap, which I'll show you one day, with a bobble on top. It makes me look like a sort of dunce and standing in the corner at school. Anyway, get this lovely 15% discount. Just click the link in the comment below, and you will be home and hosed.